1.2 Two types of happiness. 1.2.1 What is happiness? The dictionary defines happiness as a range of emotions from contentment to intense joy. If we can plot happiness on a graph, the negative y-axis shows suffering and the positive y-axis indicates pleasure and 0 is peace and x-axis represents time. From the negative y-axis upwards to 0 and then to the positive y-axis, life is a journey of many emotions. There are two types of happiness, temporary or permanent happiness. 1.2.2 What is permanent happiness? Permanent happiness has many qualities, aspects summarized in the acronym USE. U for unlimited variety, S for shared with others, E for ever increasing. If all the above three qualities are present, it's permanent happiness. Even if one of those is absent, it's temporary. Does a permanent happiness exist? Yes, it does. The same divine qualities in great saints of all religions and traditions are the evidence for such permanent spiritual happiness. Fathomless devotion, hope, humility, gratitude, and forgiveness bear testimony to their access to boundless joy. They have an impeccable character, purity, and determination to tolerate numerous reversals while sharing this bliss with others. B. Is permanent happiness achievable? Permanent happiness is not the exclusive birthright of a few souls from bygone eras. We can also attain this vast oceanic bliss by reawakening the unlimited love present within the core of our hearts. This JOSD course, complete in 6 chapters, offers systematic theory and practical suggestions to achieve this permanent happiness. The sweet taste of even a single drop of this spiritual experience is enough to inspire us to become fellow seekers on this beautiful journey while performing our duties in this world. C. Do we have to give up ambitions and comforts for permanent happiness? Denial, suppression, or rejection of our talents and wealth is unnecessary. We can utilize our ambitions and assets to help us on our journey towards ABCD and permanent happiness. Why would we want to give up a comfortable car that helps us reach our destination faster? We only need to be cautious of becoming so attached to our cozy seats that we may neglect our journey. Look around you. Many are blessed with luxurious comforts, but are they perfectly happy? Billionaires live in mansions, drive around in limousines, and surround themselves with everything that money can buy. Yet, like most others, they too face health and relationship issues. It is common knowledge that money can buy amusements, but not satisfaction, a bed, but not sleep, books, but not wisdom, an expensive clock, but not time, companions, but not friends, food, but not appetite, a house, but not a home, medicine, but not health, a ring, but not a marriage. Money and comforts are tools, not the goals of a human journey. They can facilitate the above, but are not all in all. They give us temporary happiness. 1.2.3 What is temporary happiness? The three characteristics that define temporary happiness are BPL. B for beginning and end, P for pain and relief, L for limit. Okay, 1. B, beginning and end. Temporary happiness is like a sand castle. Kids build these castles and forts with great effort, only to see them washed away in the cascading ocean waves. The amused elders may laugh at the little ones when their juvenile joys turn into tears. They hardly realize that they are grandiose plans for temporary happiness. In their concrete sandcastles also have a beginning and an end. Even the biggest empires built by great toils of world conquerors are washed away by the waves of time. Alexander the Great once commanded his AD to seek a saintly person for him. Dutifully, the AD visited a great sage and explained the famed king's wishes. The sage humbly refused. saying that he had no interest in meeting a worldly king. Infuriated, the commander reported the incident to his master. Fuming with rage, Alexander personally confronted the sage. "You lazy bum," thundered the king, "you dare disobey my commands? I will soon teach you a lesson." "Please pardon my impudence," responded the saint calmly. "May I know who you are and what you do in life?" "I am Alexander the Great," roared the king. I am set to conquer the world. Once you have occupied all the lands, what would you do?" asked the sage. "Oh, I'll build a great palace, the likes of which no one has ever seen before." "Oh, noble king, then what would you do?" "I'll then select the 100 most beautiful women in the land and marry them. And then I'll have one son from each of them and divide the world amongst my 100 sons." "O king, after such a heroic act, what will you do next?" Alexander replied, "After that, well, I shall relax in peace." The sage smiled back at the king serenely. "If that's what you ultimately want to achieve, please join me now. Come, sit next to me, for I relax in complete peace in this countryside." Alexander had ordered his followers in his will to parade his dead body in an open coffin with hands stretched out. This scene symbolizes that all his conquests were temporary and he's leaving this world empty handed, precisely as he had entered it. 2. P. Pain and relief. Rather than being a positive experience, temporary happiness is only a short respite from the current pain. We feel happy for a while when we are distracted from our worries, strained relationships, or workplace stress by binging on food, movies, pubs, etc. It's just an interim state of relief sandwiched between two miseries, camouflaged as happiness. A simpleton was repeatedly banging his head against a wall. So intense was his self-inflicted aggression that he soon fell to the ground in tearing pain, only to lift and launch his bruised head once again at the wall, which was streaking with blood. A curious onlooker saw him smile as he lay there on the ground, bleeding. Surprised, he asked the man, "You are badly injured, yet you seem to be happy." Pat came the reply, "Yes, I am ecstatic because at this point I am not getting hurt. Before I hit my head on the wall, this gap is my happiness because at this moment I am spared from the pain." Is relief from pain a state of positive happiness? In medieval times, criminals were interrogated by lowering them into a river. Gasping for air, the culprit would struggle for his life. Just when he nearly loses his consciousness, the guards would pull his head above the surface for a couple of seconds. His relief would be short-lived, as he would once again be dunked inside. A minute later, as he frantically fights to breathe, he would be pulled out. This harrowing process would continue until the outlaw confessed the details of his crime. This is how momentary happiness works. We crave to hear music, eat delicacies, or just glance at our phones. Temptations irritate, but the moment we soothe our senses, the urges subside for some time. They reappear with greater intensity until we somehow pacify those longings again. This is the vicious cycle that forces us to equate relief happiness to real happiness. Besides, by the law of diminishing marginal returns, every extra bite of ice cream or chocolate gives reduced pleasure. Thus, we need more and more of it till we eat so much that the very sight of it becomes disgusting. Such denial, however, lasts only a few days until the craving strikes again. Question: do we need misery to enjoy happiness? Does anyone pray, "Oh Lord, I have 5 factories, please burn one of them so that I can enjoy the remaining 4"? Do parents pray for their children to fail exams to enjoy better marks later? Do we like to fall sick and suffer to value good health? Let's face it, suffering is suffering, while happiness is happiness. One may philosophize and romanticize misery, but no one wants it. After a failure, the sweet taste of success is more tasty. However, what our hearts are truly searching for is the path to everlasting happiness, not temporary pleasure. 3. L. Limited. Once a man running from a ferocious tigress and her 3 cubs that were chasing him. He fell into a well and got stuck on a stout branch within it. As he perched there awkwardly, he looked down to see a giant crocodile with its jaws wide open, staring up at him. Then he spotted a deadly snake slithering closer to the branch he sat on, even as 2 rats slowly nibbled at the other end of the branch. Just then, a swarm of bees appeared out of nowhere and stung him repeatedly. His sudden fall into the well had disturbed their beehive. Now, waiting helplessly in fear of his imminent death, the man suddenly saw drops of honey dripping every 2 seconds from the broken beehive. He stretched out his tongue, hoping to catch every drop of it. In the middle of such precarious situation, the man eagerly waited the next drop of pleasure that would slide down his parched lips. This would shut his mind to the inevitable disaster that lurked around the corner. This story drives home our plight as human beings. We are constantly chased by the tigress of desires, accompanied by the 3 cubs of anger, greed, and illusion. The well is compared to this dark world of suffering, while the deadly crocodile represents death. The serpent is like time, and the 2 rats are the days and nights that chip away our lifespan bit by bit. Are the few drops of honey of little happiness worth the massive price of the beast sting like miseries? The next section discusses the 2 types of problems that are obstacles to our happiness. Summary 1. Permanent happiness has 3 qualities. Use. U. Unlimited variety. S. Shared with others. E. Ever increasing. 2. Temporary happiness has 3 qualities. B, P, L. B, beginning and end. P, pain and relief. L, limited. 3. Relief from pain is not a state of positive happiness. 4. We don't need miseries to enjoy permanent happiness. We are all seeking unlimited, joyful experiences devoid of problems. Hare Krishna.